Greetings, everyone. This is Danny from Harr Travel. And of course, you know that because you're here joining us live and really excited, as always, Tuesday night, ready to talk some cruise with you. I've got a cruise coming up in a very short period of time. So the family and I are getting excited. Wife started packing. Of course, I'll pack a few minutes before we head out. But what we're going to do today is what we always do on a Tuesday. I'm going to go over some of the top news stories. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, or if you want me to speak to any news stories that I don't mention, please put them in the comments here. And of course, at Harr Travel, our goal is to take great care of you and book your cruise. We are a full-service travel agency. We're happy to support you from start to finish on your cruise bookings. Myself, my name's Danny. As I mentioned, I'm the owner of Harr Travel. I'm coming up on just shy of 300 cruises, almost 1,500 nights at sea. I love what I do. But more than that, I love that I get to share the things that I love with all of you, whether it's our ship tours, our room and suite tours, our resort tours. I love that I get to do it, but this is my favorite. I get to talk live with you, answer your questions. And of course, when you're ready to book, make sure you reach out. And just so I don't get in trouble here, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, and like and comment below. We're happy to hear where you're going on your next cruise. If you'd like to give a shout out to your Harr Travel advisor, that's what it's there for. I'll dig into the news here momentarily. But once again, keep all your comments coming. I'll answer all of them. And I did want to kick off with this. So I'm really happy to talk to you for the next hour tonight. But if you haven't quite gotten enough and you want to come back tomorrow night, this link, which is in the comments, you can click on that and sign up. Now, what's critical about that, tomorrow I'll be doing a live stream just on Royal Caribbean. So everything Royal Caribbean. And if you stick around for the full stream, I'm going to be giving away a cruise for 4. So this, I have to give the disclosures here. It is not affiliated with YouTube in any way. The giveaway, this is something that Harr Travel is sponsoring and taking care of ourselves. You must be 18 or over, and you must be a resident of the United States. So once again, feel free to click on that link. With this, you do have to register there and go from there. Let me see. I think I got a little something on the camera here. Give me one moment. See if I can't fix that a little bit. And there we go. All right. So let's dig in without further ado. All right. What the heck? I don't know if you guys see that, but I will figure that out in a bit. Yeah, let me try one more. All right. Well, you guys can let me know if you see what I see, which is a little splotchy on there. Not sure. Give me half a second. I'm sorry about that, guys. It was looking all good for me earlier. And I think we should be good to go. Okay. All right. Well, sorry about that. As we kick off here, the first and most important news story, very, very important news story. The most important news story is, of course, we have a new chief dog officer. Now, we don't know the name yet. Love to hear your recommendations for the name down below. I don't know. There's some really good ones out there that are dog and nautical. So not 100% sure where we're going to go with it, but really excited to see what it's all about. So once again, Chief Dog Officer on the Legend of the Seas. We know that Mr. Bailey will attempt to kidnap this one as well, because that's what he seems to do. He loves the dogs so much. He, of course, wants them to be a part of his life and our life. So I love that. In fact, one of my favorite moments on the Star of the Seas was speaking to Mr. Bailey just for fun, just to show you the full circle moment. He was working on my very first cruise, but he was behind the purser's desk. So that's where he started. I love a company that, that promotes from inside. For somebody to go from an entry-level purser up to president of the company, it says a lot about the staying power of being with Royal Caribbean. And it's one of the things that we hear over and over from Royal is that, people love to work there. They take great care of their employees. And you can see that in the way that the crew responds throughout. So once again, Chief Dog Officer Puppy. We don't know the name yet, but you better believe that Mr. Bailey will be spending an enormous amount of time with this doggy before she heads over to Barcelona. And speaking of Barcelona, we did confirm that we will be sailing on the first pre-inaugural, actually prior to the July 4th sailing. If you're on the July 4th sailing, let us know. If you'd be interested in joining us, if we added the July 4th sailing, let me know that as well, and see if we can't get a group together to join in. So once again, super excited for that. We'll be cruising on the Legend of the Seas at the very end of June 2026. All right. CocoCay. We did see something unfortunate happen to CocoCay this past week with the storms and other things. They did damage one of the walkways on the side. What we're hearing is for a bit, they can only have one ship dock at a time. But what we're hearing is that should be fixed pretty soon and should be ready to rock and roll for all of those CocoCay lovers. And before I head back in a few months, I really do hope she's back open, and I'm pretty sure she will be. All right. So Princess Cruises. I love Princess Cruises, and this is a fun fact that you may or may not know. It's the cruise line I've spent the most days on board. I've done a 30-day on there. We've done quite a few here out of Southern California because for a long time, they were the Southern California cruise line. Now, in addition, one of the things that we saw pop up was the prestigious certification by Ospitalia Italiana, and pizza was rated, it's been voted on best at sea over and over again. But now they have received this prestigious award. And this is where you're going to find the sit-down pizza restaurant on most of the ships, either Gigi's. I think, what's the other one? I forgot the other name. But delicious pizza, guys. And of course, Princess has a lot of Italian heritage. And, pizza, if you don't do pizza right, your Italian friends are not going to forgive you for that. So, of course, fantastic news. Delicious pizza on board Princess. And if you have any questions about Princess, keep those coming as well. We love Princess Cruises, and the place we utilize them the most would be Alaska. And they have some unique offerings that nobody else has. One of my favorites is puppies in the piazza. So you get these adorable sled dogs. They bring them on board. All of the ships have a piazza or kind of an atrium area in the middle, and they bring them on board, and man, is that cuddly and awesome. There is nothing better than a little puppy dog. I will say that. And in fact, if you go on one of the cruise tours, one of my favorite stops was when we went to the McKinley Chateau, which is owned by Holland America Cruises. It's right next to the Princess property. And of course, you can share in between. But they also had the puppies there. Unbelievable. It was one of our highlights of Alaska. And Princess also, two things that are very unique to them is when they're in Glacier Bay, and others can do this, they do the best at it. They'll bring on rangers. So, of course, Glacier Bay is a national park. It's Glacier Bay National Park. And when they're in, they actually narrate it for you. They have a whole setup where they'll give you maps. They'll talk about all of the, all the different aspects of Glacier Bay, the surrounding areas, where it's been, where it's going, all the history of it. And then they also have a relationship with Libby Riddle, who I believe was the first woman to win the Iditarod. They'll bring her on board or narrate as well. But once again, the Princess Lodges are phenomenal. Just in case you want to check that out, we have filmed the Fairbanks Lodge. We filmed the McKinley Chateau and the McKinley Lodge. And then we also filmed the Denali Lodge. Sorry about that. Brain got a little ahead of me there. So once again, Princess, unbelievable in Alaska. They've done a lot to upgrade their ships. Don't sleep on Princess. I think they're going a long way here. Also, Disney just released their summer 2027 season. We would love to book your Disney cruise. Reach out if you're interested. I'm going to be hanging out with the mouse quite a bit here over the next couple of weeks, and stay tuned for some awesome videos to come. But 2027 itinerary. So they are back to Alaska with 2 ships, which I absolutely love. I've done Disney in Alaska. It was one of the best sailing experiences I've had on any cruise line anywhere in the world. And then they also have new itineraries in Northern Europe on the Wish. So they're bringing a Wish class ship back to Europe as they expand. Of course, they have Treasure now. They have Destiny now. As they add the next 4 ships that are already planned, you can expect that they'll be expanding to different destinations. I'd love to see one of the newer ships out here on the West Coast or in Alaska. I think that would be pretty fantastic as well. In addition, it's open to book Monday the 16th for Castaway members. And then, each day they kind of roll it out to different levels of Castaway members. And then 223 for all other guests. All right, continuing on. I talked a little bit about this the other day, but super excited. We just had some guests get back. But the Grand Egyptian Museum is open, and man, is it spectacular. They put out a little YouTube video if you want to check that out, kind of touring and what it's all about. But of course, being the Egyptian Museum, it has the best artifacts. It was not doing a good job displaying them. I will say the previous one was very old. This is right next to the pyramids, which is exceptional. You can actually, believe it or not, take a golf cart from the museum, cross a new bridge to where the pyramids are, and then you can step out and in. We had a great trip to Europe on AMA Waterways last year. Amazing. We'll be going back there again, I believe, in 2028 with a group. So if you'd love to join us, let us know. But Egypt, spectacular, even better now with the Grand Egyptian Museum open. All right, Oceania Vista, another perfect 100 CDC score. Of course, Oceania does a great job with that in general, and it has been a perfect score every time since it launched. And man, is Oceania doing some amazing things right now. I talked a little bit about the Sonata, and if you keep your eye out, next weekend, we'll be releasing our preview of the Oceania Sonata, and then a separate preview of all the rooms and suites. And if you haven't cruised on Oceania, they are the foodie cruise line, meaning if you love food, there is no better cruise line on planet Earth than Oceania. Red Ginger, their Asian fusion restaurant, is out of this world. Jacques, specialty restaurant curated by the great Jacques Pepin, who I adore. And oh man, I did not believe chicken could taste that way. I'll just leave it at that. The breads, the rolls, the pastries, the crepes, the happiness. If you want incredible destinations and unbelievable food, Oceania may be the perfect option for you. Once again, stay tuned. We'll be putting out the preview, and we have every single one of their ships and every room and suite category in the entire fleet filmed if you'd like to check that out. Okay. In addition, the sister brand that's another star ahead, the Regent Seven Seas cruise line, the Regent Prestige is on track to be the most exclusive, most expensive per berth cruise ship ever built. And she looks amazing. The top suite on the ship will be roughly 6,400 square feet, including indoor and outdoor space. If you take that suite, you have a private car and driver waiting for you in every port. You have your own private restaurant in the back of the ship. You have unlimited spa treatments in your spa in the room. You have a full fitness area as well, or you can do that in the fitness center. That's just a few of the amenities, but 6,400 square feet. Wowzers. Anyway, that's pretty incredible. So the brand new Regent Seven Seas Prestige will be setting sail at the very end of this year, and you better believe we'll be there to document that for you. All right. Continuing along, Aman Hotels is joining the premium luxury cruise market in 2027. Brand new Amangati. So guys, if you are looking for something super exclusive, super expensive as well, but just literally the top of the top, the creme de la creme, what we're finding is the top hotel lines are actually joining powers or partnering with cruises in order to create these brand new, incredible ship experiences. So Ritz-Carlton has been out for a bit. We do get great reviews from that. And of course, what would you expect from Ritz-Carlton? The brand new Four Seasons yachts debut a little bit later. I think it's later this year, just a bit. And of course, the great Captain Kate of Celebrity is no longer with Celebrity. She's now with Four Seasons, and she'll be helming that. Orient Express is debuting a brand new ship as well. So we're seeing some incredible ultra luxury, ultra exclusive hotel brands stepping into the cruise market for the first time. All right. In general, another one. We are still waiting to hear back more. It sounds like it's just some technicalities, but they have paused construction on Perfect Day Mexico until they get the environmental bit all sorted out. Don't anticipate that's going to delay anything, but we did want to share that with you. I had a couple other noted here. American Cruise Lines. So guys, if you don't know about American Cruise Lines, you're missing out. It is an unbelievable brand. We've been able to spend quite a bit of time with their top leadership. You can see our videos of the American Symphony, I believe. And what this line is all the ships are built in America. They're small ships meant to truly discover the gems of America. So you have sailings to Alaska, ships that are about 150 to 250 passengers. You have river cruises on their modern riverboats. One of my favorite I've ever done was from Portland, Oregon to Lewiston, Idaho. Actually, absolutely unbelievable. And you go along the Hood rivers, the Willamette, the Columbia, the Snake. We got to go up to Mount Hood. And if you're looking for an incredible wine region, look no further. But in addition to that, they have sailing all the way up and down the Mississippi from, Red Cloud, Minnesota, all the way down to New Orleans. And in between there, they've got one of my favorite cruises was Memphis to Chattanooga on the Ohio River. Just wonderful, wonderful experiences. But a brand new concept from them is they built coastal catamarans. So these hold 100 guests. They're beautifully appointed, some of the best food you'll have on the ocean. And these sail in the Northeast, the Great Lakes, and then actually up and down the Eastern Seaboard. You can even take a cruise from Charleston, South Carolina to Jacksonville, Florida. So they go through the intercoastal waterways and even have some options, I believe, down in the Sea of Cortez. So they are doing some very special celebrations, and they are the only real American cruise line. So American Cruise Lines, they're celebrating 250 years of America, and be sailing through 35 states this year from Alaska to Florida. So some really cool onboard stuff that they'll be theming. But if you are the American Cruise Line, of course, you can deliver the American cruise experience. One of my personal favorites was, I'm a super history nerd. I have my master's degree in history, but was walking the sunken road of Shiloh with one of their unbelievable tour guides. And, I just got chills thinking about it. But unbelievable storytelling. They have themed cruises. Reach out if you're interested. All right. I think I had one more I wanted to share with you guys. Carnival is deploying 2 ships to Europe as well next year. So they usually don't play much in the European market, but ships in Europe, Disney's heading over. Once again, with all these cruise lines doing massive expansions, they got to find places for the ships to go. And I'm going to finish it up with this. The best cruise I've probably ever taken in my life was on the Seabourn Venture. This is one of their purpose-built expedition ships. So this is how I did my 7th continent to Antarctica. But they were the first cruise ship ever to reach 70 degrees south. This was during their most recent 12-day Antarctica exploration trip, and set a new record for the most southerly point for Seabourn and Carnival Corporation. And one of the most, for the big cruise lines, it is the biggest. So if you've ever considered Antarctica, keep in mind that you can visit it on big ships. Princess, Holland America, Celebrity Cruises, Oceania, they visit Antarctica. But the difference is you cannot set foot on the continent. To do that, you need to join an expedition cruise, whether that's Seabourn, Hurtigruten, Atlas Ocean Voyages, some unbelievable pricing there, guys, if you're looking for some killer rates. But that is how you can actually go and set foot on Antarctica. They take the Zodiacs in and out. It's a really quite an incredible bit. And then finally, we're seeing some really amazing F1 packages. So I mentioned this before. My wife's a huge F1 fan. It's growing on me. Getting to love it more and more. But if you're looking for some incredible ways to combine cruising and F1, Crystal has an amazing package where you can actually bookend it and do the Spanish Formula One first and then the Monaco Grand Prix after, and do a cruise in between. Explora Journeys has some really amazing ones. And being that MSC and Explora are some of the top sponsors, you can believe that you're going to get some of the best seats in the house. All right, guys. So went 20 minutes into the news. I'm going to go ahead and stop that now. If you have any news stories that you'd like me to comment on, post them here. If you want to let us know where you're going on your next cruise, that's awesome. If you have any cruise questions, I'm going to treat this as an AMA and ask me anything, and I'll stay and answer all the ones that you have. All right. So hello to you. Hello. All right. Pleased to meet your acquaintance. Same to you. Once again, for those who joined us a little bit late, I would love to give you a free Royal Caribbean cruise tomorrow. To do so, if you'd like to join us, all you have to do is click on the link here and register. First name, last name, email address. It'll send you the link to join us live. And then, of course, even if you can't make it, it'll also send you the link after, but you must be there to win. Once again, we're giving away a balcony cabin to Mexico, the Caribbean, or Alaska for up to 4 passengers. It's not sponsored by YouTube, not affiliated in any way with YouTube. Must be 18 or older and a U.S. resident. All right. What terminal does Royal Caribbean use in Fort Lauderdale? Oh, what's that number? Well, it's a big one. I know it's on the opposite side of Celebrity. I'll have to look that up. But is it 19? I think it might be 19 there. But if you Google Royal Caribbean, it'll pop right up. Get down, get back up again. Absolutely. Chumbawamba there, huh? Is the Ovation coming back to Aussie anytime soon? So I believe Ovation, she's getting her big renovation, and then she's heading to Alaska in May. And I believe she's coming back down to LA afterwards. So I don't know when she'll be back. Let's see if I can find that for you really quick here I'll keep looking as I go back in. All right. Greetings from South Florida. Greetings to you as well. Let me go here. Ovation of the Seas. And hello from Central California, formerly Central Coast. There you go. All right. Here. And it looks like, let's see. So she is going to be, Ovation of the Seas is heading back to California afterwards. So we'll appreciate having her here. Then in April, May, she is heading back to, she's staying in California for the duration. So it looks all the way up through April of 2028. She'll be in LA. So Alaska season and then LA year round. All right. What happens if you're back late to the ship? Yes, they would debark you, or actually they probably leave your stuff on board and just head on out and coordinate that with you later. So don't be late to the ship. Good evening. Hope you and your family are well. Thank you so much. We are doing very, very well. I love that you're doing the live streams. I appreciate that. I love that as well. Greetings from Northern California, Reno, Nevada. What do we do? What do we get if we book with Harry Travel for Royal Caribbean? Well, seeing that I see your name's Harry, I totally understand where you went there. But it depends. First off, you get nothing additionally booking direct. So to start with, of course, great service, advocacy, support, advice, and there's always an amenity as well, but it really depends on what you book. So happy to look that over with you. Hello, Danny. Other than the Crown and Anchor loyalty program, can you tell me more about their casino loyalty program? I cannot, because casino is a totally different entity. It does not work with the Royal Caribbean sales team. It doesn't work with us. We can help book a casino trip, but I have absolutely no idea. Other than I tend to donate some money there, and they give me very meager things back. Did NCL change their dress code for dinner, dining, and all venues? I heard no more shorts allowed. I haven't heard that, and I would actually be very, very surprised considering their marquee commercial they have right now is talking about letting flip-flops into the main dining room. So I don't believe that that's the case. Hello, Heather. How's it going? Good to see you here as always. Okay, Navy or Neptune. I could see that for the chief dog officer. I like that as well. I've heard Skipper a few times, but man, is she cute. Views and Q's loves you. Safe is large enough for a laptop. You know that is the case. Not always the case, but I prefer it to be the case. Do all Royal Caribbean restaurants do the world dessert? They do not. All right, my family is thinking about Royal Caribbean for our 12th Royal Cruise. I'm a kid. What do we get if we book with you? Well, I just talked about that already, so thank you so much for that question. Never Sailed Princess, you're missing out. I think they're one of the best lines for families. I think they're an incredible line for long, beautiful, amazing itineraries. One of my favorites is that 28-day round trip from LA, where you get Hawaii, Tahiti. I think it even goes as far as Tonga and back. Princess has some amazing offerings in Europe. And of course, it's the Love Boat. So there we go. Do you think Royal Caribbean will no longer go to Haiti? They will definitely be back. It just depends on when the when the U.S. State Department recommends that. Alfredo's, there you go. It popped out of my head, and now I remember. So Alfredo's is the other name of the pizza restaurants. And guys, I know they win awards. I know they talk about it, but even their pizza by the pool is exceptional. Princess does a phenomenal job with pizza, and they also do a really, really good job with French fries. One of my favorites, my wife and I would get the French fries at the pool, and of course, you got to get some of that delicious European mayonnaise and some ketchup, mix it together, make some fry sauce, and just sit and enjoy the happiness that is French fries. All right. All of our friends and coworkers seek us out for cruise advice and tell us we should be advisors. What does it take to become an advisor with you? And can it be part-time? So thank you so much. And I totally understand why. You are a bastion of knowledge. So currently at Harr Travel, we only have full-time advisors because we believe that that's what we need to have in order to provide full service to guests. There are a lot of independent contractors out there that are doing it as a part-time gig. And I did that early on. But what I can say is for us, it's not truly possible to provide that level of service if you're doing that and a million other things. So at some point, we probably will bring on some part-time people to support us as well. But right now, full-time. If you are looking to get started, I was a member of Nexion, Nexion, for almost 20 years. And if you're looking for a great host agency, let them know I sent you. They know me very, very well, and happy to answer any questions on that if you want to shoot me an email as well. We're celebrating our 10th wedding anniversary this August on Symphony. I love Symphony. One of my favorite ever vacations was on Symphony of the Seas with my family. And I love the 2 shows on board. They have Hairspray and they have Flight. Don't miss those. You will love them. Liberty of the Seas, good for kids, or Oasis class, up and better. They're both great. I would say Oasis is probably a bit better just because there's more going on. Bigger kids club, more options, more water slides. But don't sleep on Liberty. I love Liberty. We've done quite a few cruises on Freedom class, and she's a wonderful ship, a world-class ship as well. 2 ships in Alaska for Disney. Yes, it's really, really expanding up there. Same thing with Royal, having 2 Quantum class ships in addition to, I think they also have 2 Radiance class ships there as well. Never done Princess. My parents loved them. Give them a try, guys. Let us know. We'd be happy to help you. Is it okay for my wife and I to buy you a drink if we ever meet? If so, what is your preferred drink? Well, first off, I'm going to say you haven't seen quite enough videos if you don't know what my preferred drink is, because I bet if I challenge everybody, I can see that drink in the comments here in just a moment. But I tease. Of course, I'd be happy to. If I'm ever on a cruise, I'd love to sit down and have a drink. Oftentimes I'm with my family. When I'm with my family, that's a no-go. But other than that, I love it and love for you to join us maybe on one of our hosted trips, a little more casual setting, a little easier way to do it, but I would be honored. Okay. Great question. Does Princess have a separate dining area for those booked in a suite? And if so, does that include the mini suites? Great question. So yes, they do. And there's 2 different versions of it. So on the brand new ships on Sun and Star Princess, they have a separate sanctuary club. So that is their suite product only on those 2 ships. There's a full suite lounge. You also have a full suite restaurant, and you have an incredible suite sun deck with a restaurant up there. So check out the videos on that. It's fantastic. And then if you are not on those 2 ships, they have what's called their reserve class. So you do have reserve class mini suites, and then, of course, reserve class suites. There's a separate section of the dining room. There's an additional dish or 2 every night, and you always have a seat available. You can just head on in and sit down. Great question there. All right. Let me see here. Got another question. All right. So let me see here. MSC World America News. I'm not sure what you're going with there, but if you have a question, let me know. I've cruised on MSC World America recently. We loved it. We had a great time in the yacht club. I'm not sure that I would cruise on that ship outside the yacht club. I think it's just I think the way Royal moves people around and reserves things is a little bit better, but it's an incredible value in or out of the yacht club as well. We do a lot with MSC. A couple weeks back, you mentioned a Christmas Markets River Cruise. Any details yet? Not yet. It'll probably be about another 3 or 4 weeks. But as soon as we have our hosted trips, I know you're on our mailing list. If you want to be added to that, shoot a quick email to info@hartravel.com. Let them know that you want to be on our hosted journeys deployment list, and they'll get you on there, and we will reach out the second they're available. Do you think more lines will tap into West Coast potential? Yes and no. So we're seeing Virgin is coming for the first time. The real issue with the West Coast, and I'm from the West Coast and I love it, is you really have 2 destinations, Mexican Riviera or Hawaii. You can't get to and from Hawaii for anything less than about a 14 to 15-day cruise. And for the Mexican Riviera, there's really 3 ports. So you got Puerto Vallarta, Mazatlan, and Cabo. You can head a little bit further south and do Zihuatanejo, Ixtapa, and Manzanillo, both great ports as well. And then, of course, you've got Ensenada. Carnival's doing a big build out of Ensenada that everybody will be able to take advantage of. But there's just not enough ports here to drive that capacity. So I think where we are now is great. And we'll see. They're going to expand. They're building a new terminal in Los Angeles, which I'm excited for. Maybe they'll develop a few more ports, but it's really, you go to Mexico or you go to Hawaii, and that's really it. And for a lot of people, after they've done that, they want more diversity. All right. We fly to Lima next week for a sail on the Vista back to San Diego. Oh, you're going to love it. Man, I'm very jealous of the food that you're about to eat. I'll leave it there. I noticed Clea has been doing a lot of suing on our behalf of port fees that Hawaii and Mexico want to put in. When you were president, did you ever run into situations like this? Absolutely. And just for full clarifications, I was the president of the Southern California chapter of CLIA and am in the CLIA Hall of Fame. That's the Cruise Line International Association. Very grateful for our relationship with them. They are the advocacy group of the cruise industry. They, along with ASTA, the American Society of Travel Advisors, there. And I just said CLIA. I was an ASTA chapter president. I apologize for that. But I am on the CLIA Star Board, is what they call it. I love the pun there. But I am on the CLIA Star Board and in their Hall of Fame. But yeah, they represent and stand up for the cruise lines. And I think that what Hawaii was doing was a very bad idea. I don't think it made any sense. And I think I actually had a conversation with the governor about it last year, personally. I did the keynote speech for the Travel Weekly event in Honolulu and had a great sit down with him and with some of his team members. And let's just say we don't see eye to eye on a few things. I met Mel Brooks on the Escape last year. Well, that would be my dream come true. Guys, are any others of you like just chomping at the bit right now to get Spaceballs 2? Like, oh my gosh, I'm so ready. Mel Brooks, absolutely the best. Yeah, that's pretty incredible. One of my favorite people I met on a cruise many years ago was John Madden. I always thought it was interesting that he was willing to cruise but not fly. There's a long story behind it, actually tied to my dad in a way. I'm not going to give the whole story right now, but I love that you got to meet Mel Brooks. And even better, I love that he was cruising on NCL. Celebrity Classic stateroom bar setup, pros and cons. I'm not sure what you're asking there, but I think it's like, are the offerings? Yeah, you pay for that if you're not in the retreat. I do love that they have kind bars in there. So be kind, rewind. I said that to my daughter, and she said, "What does it mean to rewind?" And then I said, "Wow, I'm old." All right, which class of ships did Royal start doing Coastal Kitchen with? So the Oasis class, the Quantum class, the Icon class, and quite possibly Discovery class as well. Going on Star this spring, family of 4 with 2 kids, is the Rainforest a good excursion in Puerto Rico? I would say absolutely. Would depend on the age of the kids. If they're under about 8, 9 years old, I would probably say that excursion is not as good because they do a little walking. Of course, they're going to learn, they're going to dig in. But with littler kids, you may want to think twice, but it's a great excursion. I've done it a few times. All right. Want to say Quantum class? You are correct there. Do you recommend any excursions in Grand Turk? It's been quite a while since I've been there, and every time I've gone, I've done a beach day, and it's been great, and I loved it, and it was wonderful. They have some of the most beautiful beaches on planet Earth. We actually sell a lot of Grand Turk, Turks and Caicos. If you want to check it out, we filmed Beaches, Turks and Caicos. We got the 45 room and suite categories that they had and the entire resort. Pretty spectacular place. We're on Ovation of the Seas in October with an overnight in Cabo. What excursions do you recommend? So I did talk about this last week. I love the way Royal does this. So Carnival, Norwegian, when they do the overnight, they leave and they come back. But with Royal, you actually can get on and off during the evening. One of my favorite things, I love, one of my favorite things to do is to find a world-class restaurant in a destination. I think a best way to learn about culture oftentimes is through your stomach. And so when we went the last time, we dined at Mezcal, which is a restaurant in, what was it? Was it the Auberge? I'd have to double check, but unbelievable. Another time we dined at the Four Seasons. Now, maybe you don't want to stay there or, that's a little too much, but the restaurants are unbelievable. And we loved it because you seldom get to do that on a cruise. So we actually had a great day. We got back on the ship, we got back off, and then we went and had a beautiful dinner. So during the day, I love the ATV excursion. That's one of my favorites. It's one of the best destinations if you love fishing, and you can do that from the cruise line. You could do it with one of our third-party operators, or you can actually get off and negotiate right there. Royal question. Do the casino offers get better the more times you go? So I don't know a lot about it, but my understanding is yes. But usually what they do is they'll give you a comp or a dollar off, and that's going to be for an inside or maybe even up to a balcony, and then you can pay for the difference up from there. Do you think Discovery class will be small enough to go into ports like Tampa? I would say yes, if the new port gets built. I don't believe they will make her a size that she will be able to fit under the bridge. My understanding right now is she'll probably be somewhere in the range of Voyager class size. Can you rank all of the specialty dining options in Celebrity Beyond from worst to best? Well, that's a trick question because there is no worst. They're all delicious. But, I guess I'll give you a rating in the sense of Le Petit Chef. I think it's kind of a one-time only, and I've done it. So the food's good, but I don't think it's quite as good as the rest. And then I would say Raw on 5, though I absolutely adore the Seafood Tower. I wish they had a little more extensive sushi menu, but still delicious. And I'm going to be heading on board the Ascent for a couple weeks, and I will definitely be dining there many, many times. Then I would say, let's see, Fine Cut Steakhouse would probably be the next. And then, of course, Eden to cap it off. Finally, Le Voyage. It's so good. So good. Did I mention it's really good? So good. All right. 5 days until Harmony of the Seas. Love Harr Travel. I've done 2 trips with them now. Both were phenomenal. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. My wife and I love booking a balcony on our cruise. However, the last 2 cruises, our neighbors were smoking and it was not enjoyable. What can we do if we ever experience it again? Well, first off, nobody should be smoking on a balcony. Nobody. Absolutely nobody. And though I'm not somebody that tends to turn people in, I would absolutely call the front desk from your room. And the reason I say that is it's a huge danger. It's a hazard. And there was an event that happened on Princess about 20 years ago. I'm not going to talk about it. You can look it up. But it came from a cigarette that blew out and then back in to somebody's room and caught it on fire. So it is a true danger. So, don't worry about it. Just call. They won't know who called, and they'll come and take care of it. So absolutely positively something that shouldn't happen from a safety reason, and also just being a good person, right? I mean, there are designated spots to smoke on board. Some cruise lines have more, some have less, and you can choose accordingly. Can you repeat how to enter the giveaway? Absolutely. Let me go back up here and I'll grab the link. Okay, guys. So once again, really quick, tomorrow, I'll be doing another live stream. I'm not done today. I'm going to keep going. But tomorrow I'll be doing a live stream. And at the end of the stream, if you are on, we will give away a cruise for up to 4 guests on Royal Caribbean. So I'm going to do a deep dive into Royal Caribbean. Get your Royal Caribbean questions. Put them on the chat as soon as you hop in there. I would love to answer them for you and have some really exciting new news from Royal Caribbean. But also just it's a brand that I dearly, dearly love. So once again, not affiliated with YouTube in any way. We're going to give that away. And then also you must be 18 or older and a resident of the United States of America. Okay, let me keep going here. All right. Well, hello there, Mr. Janong. Greetings from North Carolina. It looks like Miss Anna. So how are you doing? It's good to see you. I got to speak with you today, which was a true delight. Always love traveling with you and your husband. She is on the incredible Outlander travel team, some wonderful friends of ours. How do you win a cruise for 4? Just went over that. So there we go. Hi from Joyzy. Love that. Have you heard what upgrades the Ovation of the Seas is getting before she heads to Alaska? And I have. So there's a couple of them. One that we're really excited about is they're actually getting rid of the suite lounge where it was and the conference center in the back. So you have some brand new aft-facing rooms. Previously, they did not exist. It was only suites that were aft-facing. And then in addition to that, they're adding the Ultimate Family Suite. We are so excited for that. Once again, the Ultimate Family Suite. In addition, the Pesky Parrot will be making her debut on board. I love a tiki bar, guys. If you're ever in the Bay Area, visit the OG original tiki bar, of course. But I love me a tiki bar. So the Pesky Parrot will be making its debut. Giovanni's Italian Kitchen will be making its debut, replacing Jamie's Italian. We knew that was coming. And though I was very, 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 very nervous, I think it's better. It is. It's better. In addition, Azumi Teppanyaki will be making its debut where Wonderland was previously, and I'm totally good with that. They expanded the casino. They're adding a total of 40 new rooms. And then also, by expanding the casino, they are making the music hall a little bit smaller, but wider. So really excited to see what that looks like as well. So some great updates there. And it does look like we just got an awesome sticker here. So I'm going to jump ahead and then head back. If you want to buy in, it's great. Love it. And then, of course, we share with our team. Thank you so much for your videos. I watch your videos all the time to see what rooms look like. Because of your videos, I booked the Royal Suite on Quantum of the Seas and Navigator of the Seas. Well, I hope you booked it with us, William. Thank you so much. And let us know if we can do anything more for you. So thank you so much for that. And the Royal Suite, the Royal Loft Suite on Quantum is, if not it's one of the most beautiful suites ever built. Check it out if you guys haven't. It's one of the only suites to ever win, I think it was Architectural Digest, but a major architectural award. And in addition to that, it's where my little boy took his very first steps. Okay, here we go. All right. Go back in. Sorry about that. Going to go back and answer your questions. Okay, so answered that. And just wanted to let you know one thing. You are the man. High five. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Any exciting news in regards to cruises starting to depart from Philadelphia and starting in April? Yeah, I mean, just that it's happening, right? They built a new terminal there. And man, I think Philadelphia is one of the world's great cities, an amazing food city. Of course, American history. I think I told you guys previously, I did part of my master's degree there. Absolutely love it. We had exceptional, patient, and generous service through Harr. They booked us on Royal with the 2-bedroom Aqua Suite with our Genie MJ. Such an incredible experience. We also did Alaska and Princess. Thank you so much. I love that. We'd love to help you. What do you think? What do you do on a sea day at Celebrity Beyond when you have an Edge Villa? Well, I eat, to be honest with you. And I usually kind of plan my day around eating, but just joking, but also not. They do a great job with entertainment. They add entertainment during the day. It's a great day to spend time at the pool, or of course, your upper level steps right on out to the retreat sun deck. So you can have a wonderful experience with the hot tubs, the pool, all of that. And then in addition to it, we also, I usually will go to Raw and 5 for lunch because I love to load up on the crab legs. And then I'll also go to the French restaurant for lunch as well, because their salad, their arugula salad with goat cheese is absolutely out of this world. But, they do some great programming, trivia, things like that as well. Hey, Charlesetta, good to see you again. I'm happy to hear that they'll go back to Haiti, one of my favorite places I've ever been, which really surprised me that they pulled out of there. Yeah, it's a safety thing. Honestly, my belief, this is my personal belief, is they could stay and it would be safe, but they are following the advice and just taking absolutely no chances. Any tips when you're sailing with a group of 12? Use a great travel advisor is usually that. But look at booking private excursions. That's a huge advantage when you have a group that size, especially in Europe, but also other destinations. It's the perfect size for a sprinter van and a tour. I absolutely love that. Always reminds me of The Office joke, Alfredo's Pizza or Pizza by Alfredo. Man, I love The Office. I miss it. I very much do. Hello to you. We have a beach cabana for Coco Beach Club. What are the best things that we can do during that day? I mean, it's to hang out and enjoy. I mean, one of the nice things with the cabana is they will bring food to you from anywhere on the island. So if you want to try out that bomb diggity chicken sandwich or tacos or other things, but this is kind of a theme here. Eat. It's delicious. It's amazing. The best steak Royal offers is actually not at Chops Grill. It's at the Coco Beach Club. And check it out for me. See what you think. Those lobster sandwiches, all of it, absolutely amazing. Okay. Are travel advisors able to book their own vacations? Of course, many of us do. Hello from the United Kingdom. I want to do Mariner of the Seas Transatlantic from Southampton for special occasion. Book 3 rooms, but I cannot collect points for all 3. I guess not into future cruises. Okay, there we go. All right. Have you ever won a Royal Up? We did it on a week-long cruise out of Sydney. We got a 2-bedroom suite. I have. It was very prevalent a couple years ago. We get about 2 or 3 a week that our guests win. So always work to bid on it. Comment about the show on flight. It's amazing. It's spectacular. And a plane flies over your head. But it's the history of flight throughout. So I absolutely positively love the design of the show, the way they've done it. And most of our royal friends, they also believe it's their favorite show. All right. Any news on Harr Hosted Cruise? Just talked about that. Give me a couple more weeks and stay tuned. Do you know anything about the basement for Celebrity Beyond? It's a teen club. So it's where teens go to hang out and do teen things and enjoy. So they do a great job of that. There's video games in there, bean bags, things like that. Virgin Voyages also sending 2 ships to Alaska this season. I believe just the 1 ship, and we're really excited. What gin do you like? I see you found it. Perfect. I'm a big fan of Hendrick's. I'm a big fan of Tanqueray 10 as well. And there's some really unique craft gins that I've found on Royal, believe it or not, and some other cruise lines. So thanks for asking. We want to go to Tokyo for a Trans-Pacific. Do you recommend one cruise line over another? Well, yes, it depends on you, what you're looking for. For example, Holland America does an incredible Circle cruise, very, very long cruise, wonderful cruise. Royal does repositionings a couple times from between LA and Tokyo, right? Totally different demographic on those 2 cruise ships. Regent does an unbelievable job in Japan as well. But once again, different cruise lines. Another one you may want to consider is Explora. There we go. There's my man, Tanqueray 10 and Tonic. I love that. Husband and I made a bingo card from your videos. I'm a big guy. I'm 6'6". Let's see if the bank's open. Well, can I just say real quick? Bingo! All right. We want Christmas Market River Cruise 2. There we go. Brian, I saw your message. I will reach out to you personally. I've actually been working on it on the background for a couple days now. Happy to help you out with that. Book an Alaska cruise in 2027 with NCL. Do you recommend booking it to see Hubbard Glacier or Glacier Bay? Either is phenomenal. If I have the choice between the 2, I usually will settle on Glacier Bay. But once you've done Glacier Bay, try out another option. Sawyer Glacier, Hubbard Glacier, Dawes Glacier. They're all incredible. Absolutely amazing. All right. I'm going on Celebrity Solstice in October to South Australia in a prime veranda with new refurbishment. What do you know about in terms of staterooms? So I'm hearing that they're going all the way down to the studs and they're going to be renovating it completely. So we will be on board and see her right after the renovation, and I'll be able to tell you more. But they're saying that this is the most extensive renovation that they've ever done. So if you've seen Silhouette, if you've seen Millennium or Summit, you've seen that they can do pretty incredible renovations. So can't wait to see it. Which ship will have Scotland? Almost every cruise line has a ship that will stop in Scotland. So lots of options there for you. When sailing NCL in a suite or haven, what are some of the recommendations you ask of your butler? Great question. This is what I say is it's really up to you and who you are, personally, right? So for me, a lot of it is taking care of my kiddos. And so a lot of times, we'll go eat in the Haven restaurant and then send food back to the kids. And they love that. They get to enjoy. Of course, they work with the concierge to help set up shows and take care of the details. But what I find, it's just that those things that you love on a vacation, right? A day that you have a shore excursion, you may have them set up a cadence of delivering your, coffee at a specific time, getting all your room service. And then, of course, they'll escort you down and you can go from the Haven all the way off the ship and have that expedited service on and off. All right, going to Cruise 360 in April. Will you be there? I will not be there. I will be on the Celebrity Ascent at that point, but love the event. It's a great event. Absolutely. Have you seen the Norwegian Luna? Well, considering the fact that she is still in the shipyard under construction, no, but I will see the Norwegian Luna in about 6 weeks. So very excited for that. I'd have to dig in to see which ones have Scotland intensive, but I do find that Azamara does a great job in that market, and a lot of times they can dock, right there, right next to the Royal Britannia ship as well. So a pretty awesome one. We are on Celebrity Reflection in a couple months, first time cruising on Celebrity. You're going to love it. It's a fantastic product. Do you know when Royal will provide trans-Pacific deployment dates for June of 28 and on? I don't. Generally, those have come out in the spring or the fall, and it usually ties into kind of the Alaska season. So stay tuned, but my guess is September, October, November. But if you reach out to us, you can get on our deployment list, and then we can reach out to you the moment it's available. And who would you recommend for Scotland? Well, we just talked about that. Do you think Princess will be doing World Cruise from Australia like in 25 and 26? I don't know. I think that it's been very popular. It's sold out. So, my guess is if the market's there, absolutely. Going on a Royal Caribbean cruise in May, Med, and wondering what you know about the Royal Beach Club Santorini. It's supposed to be open for the first ship of the season in May. I don't know much more. What I know is kind of what they've released, some basic images, the facts that you can fit that in between, kind of do an excursion and the beach club. We will be there this summer, and I will do my very best to share that with you. Recommendations for solo travelers beside NCL. So I think NCL does the best job at that with the studios because they turn it into a social experience as well. Beyond that, river cruising, AMA Waterways does a great job. Some of the luxury cruise lines like Atlas Ocean Voyages does a great job there as well. But realistically, solo travelers, are ones that oftentimes get overlooked by the big brands just because of revenue and kind of the way that works. Dreams Family Resort suggestion for Mexico or Punta Cana. I love Dreams Playa Mujeres is one of my all-time favorite. Really do love that, but reach out, and of course, we can help you get that all set. What cruises are you going on this year? So I've got Disney Treasure coming up, Norwegian Luna, Celebrity Ascent, Legend of the Seas, Norwegian Bliss, Norwegian Encore. I also have, I know I've got a Royal one in the fall. I'll think about it. I want to say it's Freedom, but and of course that's just to get started, because if you don't have a cruise booked, how can one survive? I gotta say. Go here. Serious question at Chops. Do you prefer the bone-in ribeye or the fillet? The bone-in ribeye, but if I'm getting a steak, I usually go to Hooked because Hooked has better steaks than Chops, except for the iconic cuts. And then I'm going with that the tomahawk that's out of this world. Really, really phenomenal. Thank you for all the Royal Caribbean videos. They really are the best. Do you know if Royal has any interest in putting the pesky parrot Utopia on future Icon class ships? I don't think so, because I believe we would have seen it on Legend if that was the case. I'm not sure why, though. Maybe they just have enough. Is the bank open today? Well, we're getting a brand new basket. You can't see where I am right now in my office, but it's going right out there, and I'll be testing it on a regular basis for you. Will you do reviews of the upgraded Solstice? We will, as soon as we can. If you book an interior on Norwegian, is there a possibility of upgrading a couple days before the cruise? Yes, through their bid program. So they have a program where you can bid up. They don't really do upgrades beyond that anymore because it's a brilliant program where you put in and say, I'm willing to pay X amount. And then the computer does an algorithm. And if there's a cancellation, it sets off a chain reaction where picture, maybe somebody, let's say the top suite gets canceled, right? Maybe they had somebody in the second to top suite that bid on that. They would get that, and then so forth and so on. And that interior might get upgraded to an ocean view or a balcony, but you would bid on it. At that point, I would probably just pay the upgrade to an ocean view. We just did the sign up. That's all you got to do. And then you got to show up tomorrow. Same time, same place. You'd have to be present to win. Based in Australia, wish to travel on mega ships such as Star and Legend, but it's quite far to fly. Got any tips without flying? Repositioning cruise, right? When Royal or Celebrity or Norwegian or Princess relocates from Australia, New Zealand up back to the US, hop on board. The winner will be announced on the stream. Yep, absolutely. Genuine questions. What are the benefits of booking Harr Travel over booking direct on a cruise line website? So happy to answer the question. My first thing is what's the advantage of booking direct? And the answer is really nothing. And so to me, whether you pick us or somebody else, having a great travel advisor on your side, we can help assist, advocate, advise, support. There's always an amenity that we can add on there as well, but you pay nothing for our services. We get paid a commission. If you book it with the cruise line directly, they keep it. And ultimately, the cruise line cruise consultants, they work for their shareholders. We work for you. So to me, once again, whether you book with us or another travel agency, first, make sure it's reputable. We've been in the business for over 40 years and have hundreds of thousands of customers that have had great cruises with us. And, once again, we're here to support you and take care of you. we have guests that don't need anything and basically stop in to say hi, right? And we book their cruises. And we have other people that have a lot of questions or need additional support. And our goal is to be with them every step of the way. All right, I know the only cruise line at the moment out of our cruise market, Australia, New Zealand, is Carnival. Do you ever think Princess will home port there? They did. Didn't go so well, so they left. So maybe again, we'll see. Perfect Day La Lepa should be awesome. Fantastic. Can we purchase a single day pass with a thermal spa on Ovation, or do we need to purchase a multi-day? My understanding is you can do either, but you may want to save your money. It's not great. Check it out. Check out our video first. It's got a couple stone loungers and like one or two, like a sauna, steam room. It's kind of a disappointment, to be honest. Is Lumine worth upgrading to the retreat? I think so. I think it's delicious, fantastic. But more than that, it's just one of the reasons, right? You get butler service. You get the retreat sun deck and the second Lumine restaurant on the sun deck, depending on the ship. Priority embark and disembark privileges throughout. The suite lounge, where oftentimes you can get great cocktails from wonderful bartenders that become your friend. There's a lot of reasons to upgrade, but I think Lumine is just one of them. All right. Have any opportunity to sail on Virgin? I'm not sure if you're asking me. I have not sailed on Virgin yet. Is the price point the same if you have a travel advisor versus booking direct? So the starting point is that. But oftentimes we'll have group space. I did one today for somebody where because we held that space 8 months ago, they actually booked for $1,400 less than what that cruise was going for on the Royal website. So many times, we will have group rates or discounted rates. We'll also have negotiated amenities. For example, we are Celebrity Cruises Partner of the Year. We're really proud of that, really excited about that. And so right now we have a promotion that goes on top of any other promotion through tomorrow, where if you book a new celebrity cruise, any new celebrity cruise, 6 days or longer, you get up to $300 in OBC. So we have promotions all the time where we can supplement it. But once again, the worst case scenario is you're getting the exact same price with much better service, knowledge, advocacy, and amenities. I booked a specialty dinner at Le Petit Chef and Ascent. We paid the fee, but not sure what's included food-wise and added costs. Would you break that down? I mean, it's a specialty meal, and Le Petit Chef, it's upgraded. And what you're going to find is that it actually is there's projectors up above, and they project down to your plates down below, and they tell a story. So it's kind of an interactive story. You can look up the dining menus if you'd like. They're out there for sure. But it's kind of dinner and entertainment. It is an awesome thing to do. I think once is probably enough for most people, but I've done it 4 or 5 times, and I've enjoyed it every time. How do I get you guys as my travel agent? I already have a few cruises booked. Love the content. Well, we'd love to work with you. Shoot me an email, danny@harrtravel.com. If you booked within the last 30 to 60 days and it's not paid in full, most of the time we can transfer it. But I'm happy to look at it and see. Maybe we can do something different and even enhance it for you. So shoot me an email. We would love to help you. Any cruises departing from Boston besides NCL? Looking for some different locations. It's pretty much just been NCL that I've seen. Let me see. I've got some notes here. I've seen some that visit, but as far as sailing out of it, let me see here. It looks like Holland America has some departures on the Zuiderdam. American Cruise Lines that I talked about earlier has some wonderful departures as well. More from Holland. Yeah, so it looks like Holland America, Norwegian, and American Cruise Lines are the most prevalent by far, and all of them, I can tell you, do a phenomenal job. Which do you prefer, Yacht Club or Haven? Almost always the Haven. If it's a full Haven ship, right? One of the newer ships, really, if it's breakaway, and forward, I would always prefer the Haven. If it was one of the older ships like Jewel that doesn't have a full Haven, I would definitely go with one of the brand new Yacht Club ships. There's things that I love better from each. I love fresh squeezed orange juice. Yacht Club does a great job with that. I love that they have music in the top sail lounge. Norwegian doesn't. So, there's different intricacies here and there. Really, I love them all. Puppy name Calypso. I like the way you think. That could be a really good option. Props to Harr Travel, my new favorite travel agency. Thank you so much. It was wonderful speaking with you today. And we did hold those spaces. I'm not sure if my colleague sent those over before he headed out, but if not, I'll give them over to you first thing. But I did take those offline for you. And that pricing was before we applied that the discount for you. Okay. Where will Celebrity Excite Homeport from, and when will the bookings be available? We don't know, and we don't know, but I'll tell you, if you want to know, get on our deployment list, shoot us a quick message, and we will let you know the moment it becomes available. When will you be announcing your group cruises? So we will be doing a group cruise announcement live on a live stream. So we'll let you know. It's going to be at least a month or so, guys, but we will do it, and we will let you know. Is Royal offering bid up? Does that mean that they're open suites, or do they just do it all the time? They do it all the time, and it's a backup plan for them. In fact, 98% of the time, they're sold, and it gives them that backup plan in case somebody has to cancel last second. Also forgot to ask, what are your thoughts? Do you ever think Edge will leave Australian market? And if so, when do you expect so? What ship would replace? Honestly, don't know. My gut is it's done so well for Celebrity there that if they do replace it, it would probably be with one of the newer Celebrity ships, because they had Solstice down under for a long time, and then they upgraded it to Edge. So who knows? And then when they build their next class of ships, who knows there? Can Harr Travel book any of the casino programs? I have Casinos at Sea and Carnival. Royal, yes, most of the time. In many of the cases, we don't do full comps, but if you're doing a comp with an upgrade, we can help you with that. Or you can book it and then transfer it over, and then we can service it, but not Carnival. We don't do that. Great one there. You were absolutely spot on. I should have booked our Celebrity Summit Pacific Coastal with Harr Travel. It's our first Celebrity cruise. I'm sure there will be more in the future, assuming we like Celebrity. Well, if it's not paid in full, maybe it's not too late. Shoot me an email. Happy to. One of my cruises is fully paid in under 90 days of sailing. Can I transfer it to you? Generally not, but shoot me a quick email and I'll be happy to double check. Haven is not on all NCL ships, and the full Haven really started with the Epic. Is using CruiseNext on every cruise a good thing when booking with Harr Travel? Why not? You get those extra benefits. So I always say yes. I do it myself. Every time I cruise with Royal, I'll book an open one, and then that way in the next 60 days, I can pick it and get that. Are your shorter tour videos permanent decision? Absolutely. Believe it or not, our top 5 videos right now are the shorter ones, but not to replace the longer ones, but to supplement. What we're finding is a whole new audience of people that maybe don't have the time or the willingness to sit through an hour, 2-hour tour. But I have been offline as far as filming due to my back, and we should be back up at the end of March with filming with Celebrity. And then, of course, we'll bring back the long form. They've been our bread and butter, but look for both as we go forward. Any plans for Prima class on the West Coast? I really don't think so, but you never know. What is your personally favorite cruise line and why? It's the one I'm on at the time. Guys, I could talk about this for 57 hours, right? I love all of them. When I'm with my kids and we're having a great time, and it's hard to beat Royal, but I also love Norwegian, especially in the Haven. It's pretty darn spectacular. And my next cruise is Disney, but the one after that is Celebrity. So, I can't, it's like kids, right? I can't pick a favorite, but if you give me scenarios, I can tell you the best option for those scenarios. Okay. All right. When do you think Bora Bora Island will allow mainstream cruise lines back on Trans-Pacific trips? I hope they never do. I think it was too much for the island, and I don't think that it's a great fit. I think the Paul Gauguins of the world are what it's all about. All right, guys. Well, we're going to wrap up here today. Of course, when you're ready to book, make sure you reach out to Harr Travel. If you haven't had a chance yet, hit that subscribe button. It means the world to us. And leave a comment down below. And once again, guys, it's a great blessing and pleasure that I get to do something I love every single day. I love that I get to work with you. When you're ready to book your next cruise, reach out to the experts at Harr Travel. And as always, ciao for now.